one, you caught me working on my old MiG-15. This kit's been around since I would say late 70s, and I've been doing some upgrading on it. I got rid of the cheater hole in the bottom, put a hatch on the top for easier access to the radio, landing gear. This is going to be a ducted fan, so it's going to have an OS 91 with a Dynamax fan on it, because this particular plane, the structure is not strong enough for a turbine. It'd just explode. But I'm not going to talk to you about the MiG. What I'm going to talk to you about today is building your favorite plane. So let me get rid of this, clean this off, get rid of the dust, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, got it all cleaned up, MiG's put away. I've gathered up some of my kits so you can check them out. Kits, I think, are the way to go, because you don't have that cookie cutter aspect of an ARP, and the companies that put them out make them all the same. So, and there's a few of them that make variations, but not very many. The ARPs you can customize after they're done, but you can't make changes to the structure. Like on a lot of them, you blow the landing gear off, or things like that go wrong. So kits, you can fix them before you even get them in the air, and that, or get them covered for that matter. Tell you a little bit about them. That commander right there in the front is a West German kit from the 1970, I believe. Has 65-inch wingspan. Meant to be a pattern ship in the day. I personally never seen one fly, but I found this one at a swap meet. Then the Blue Jay model's Dirty Birdie 60, which is still available if you ever decide to build one. Great flying airplane. Let's see, this is a Precedent Stomp Bite SB4. The old Great Plains Patriot 40, Patriot XL, and the red box Top Flight 0. I have this one mostly built. My dad actually started it, and I have yet to finish it, but that's on my to-do list. I built this Patriot, but what I did is I popped all the parts out, and I built it from balsa I picked up at the hobby shop. So the kit is basically undisturbed. I popped the parts out and then put them back into the die crunched sheet, so it's still a complete kit. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of these and show you my favorite sport kit of all time. I built 13 of them. I have 2 that are so bad off that I can't even fly them anymore. And I might show you those too. But let me get rid of these. I'll bring up the kit and then I'll show you. Okay, here it is. My favorite kit of all times, the one I built the most of, is a Sig Cougar. The Cougar is such a fantastic flying airplane. It will do anything you want it to do, except for 3D, but I'm not into 3D. So, you can put a 40 on it and fly it tame. I usually put a 60 on it and stick retracts in it, and it goes like crazy. Vertical is unlimited. Just a heck of a lot of fun. So I'm going to pop this open. Let me get these out of the way. And give you kind of a opening the box kit review on this. Maybe we'll get into a build in another video. But let's take a look inside. We got the top, get that out of the way. Okay, got a good instruction book, very detailed, step by step. Paper. This is your engine mount notice. And one thing you'll see that's different about this wood kit is that it has no plans. That is one thing I found extremely different about this, is when you build it right directly on the wood, and I'll show you that in a moment. Foam wing cores, very durable. I had a mid-air with one of these Cougars and cut the other airplane in half and landed my Cougar. So it For you guys who are hard on your airplanes like I am, that's a good thing. Okay, fuselage doubler, plywood, a couple of them. As you can see, they're very well die cut. Everything's just falling out. Okay, this is what I mean by printed on the wood. This is your stabilizer section. Vertical stab. Horizontal stab piece right there, which makes up to that one. Pretty cool. You just cut them out on the lines. Make sure you're on the outside of the line, and then sand back to the line when you cut it. Really good stuff. Easy to glue together. Elevator stock. These are the formers for the fuselage. You can see they pop right out. These are light ply. And this is 3-ply. And you can see they're well cut. They want to fall right out. And those are more formers. These, from experience, I know these are wingtip blocks. This is the chin block that goes, your firewall is here, and this goes up underneath. You sand this to this dimension right here on this firewall. I don't know if you can see that. And that's the firewall. And then this will glue on the fuselage, but then you have to sand it. That's one thing about building. You have to contour. You got to be a little bit of an artist. It's not hard to do. It's very simple. I've been building planes. I started building my first plane in 1968. And I was 9 years old, so how hard can it be, right? And the first Cougar I built was the first year they came out, and it was in the mid-70s. Tower Hobbies had them on sale, and I seen one, and I've flown the Sig Commander before that, which is a predecessor of this, and the Cougar came out, and I just had to have it. And I flew on a OS Max 40 FSR. Flew great. Nothing spectacular. Loop, roll, some interesting maneuvers, spins. It was fun. Okay, this is what I mean by no plans. This is your fuselage side. You can see triangular stock goes here. Your doubler is laid on here. You can see where the formers are glued on. Very simple. Very, very simple. Easy. And for you guys to say I don't have the time to do this, well, I put one of these planes all together, framed up, in less than 24 hours. So, no excuses, guys. Some sheeting, probably, that looks like sheeting for the top and the bottom of the fuselage. This is the sheeting for the foam wings. And this is all your sticks. Triangular stock for the fuselage sides. They go right here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me hold that up. Fuselage sides. You can see the line right here. That's where your triangular stock is going to go. Here, here, and here. On both sides of the fuselage. Some other 1/4-inch sticks. I think some of these 1/4-inch sticks they use for push rods. Leading edge stock. And some of the trailing edge stock is in here too. Now if you're not going to put retracts in, which is an option that I dreamed up, they don't show you how to do that. It's just something you have to already do and then just basically do it. I've worked with these a lot. You got to cut out the foam and put in your backing plate for your retract, and then your mounts, and then cover up the hole real nice with the leftover foam, carve it, sand it, and then sheet it. But these blocks are all set. The wings are already pre-cut for these. They're already slotted. They drop right in fairly tight. You 5-minute epoxy them in. There'll be another hardwood block that glues on here. You cut the hole, just drop them in, epoxy them down, get them flush, after you skin the plane, that is. You drop them in, kind of flush them up a little bit, then you're ready to cover. If you like using plastic covering, that's a good way to go. let's see the other landing gear blocks. And these, I don't recall what these are. These are a couple hardwood blocks. Beats me, I don't remember. I have to look inside the book. And then here is your plastic turtle deck. And if you look at the plane, it is this piece right here. And that's this plastic. You just cut out the back piece, front piece stays. You glue it down on the back of the turtle deck. Somewhere abouts in here. There are two pieces of soft block in here too. I didn't look at, but anyways, you carve them to shape, glue them on. That's all there is to it. Sand them to shape. You got a canopy. Canopy's really nice. The cut line is back here. I don't know if you can see that or not. And trim it around the bottom where you'll see a little line. Just trim it out. Easiest way, score it with a knife first. And once you score it with an X-Acto knife, then you just bend the plastic and it'll crack on that line. You won't have nothing to worry about as far as screwing it up with scissors or anything like that. Cowling. This is some kind of a plastic. I'm not sure what kind of plastic it is. It's a little harder than the old stuff. When I first got my first Cougar, it was two-piece ABS plastic. You used acetone as a glue and add a plastic strip. You put it in the top and the bottom. You put the two sides together and you glued it on. They didn't last very long. These last a little longer, but there is a problem with these, is that after a while, this plastic will crack. It doesn't happen right away. A couple of years, you might notice it. But overall, it's really good, really easy to cut for your engine. I can explain some of that in another video because that's kind of a lengthy process to figure out exactly where you want your engine cut. Let's see, now, landing gear. You got your mains right here on the outside, nose wheel. You got your aileron, control horns, linkages. They got a little piece of brass on there, pretty nice. And your push rods, the metal push rods are fairly short, so you don't have a lot to do as far as push rod making goes. It's very basic, and all of it's in the instruction manual. Fiberglass cloth for the center section of the wing. Here's your motor mount. They're I think these are glass-filled type motor mounts. Wooden dowel for the front of your wing. And what else I got in here? A clevis for your landing gear horn. They have a packet of CA hinges and a couple pieces of plywood. The plywood are for the back of the wing where you run the screws through to bolt your wing on. That's a reinforcing plate. Okay, here we got the nose gear bearing. See, we have push rod, horns, control horns, landing gear straps, nylon screws, control for the arm, blind nuts. We got clevises, assorted wood screws for the cowling and landing gear, but everything you need is right there. Here's another little strip of fiberglass. Don't recall what that's for either, but I guess when I go back through and build this, I usually just grab this. I built so many of them, I just grab the kit, cut the parts out, put it together, and reinforce it as I see fit. Over the quite a few years I've been building, I learned to do different things to different airplanes to make them a little more strong. Okay, this plastic piece is to cut out your landing gear pants. That are right here. just covers the landing gear. It makes it look like it has retracts. You can put these also on your retracts. If you put retracts on, it'd be kind of a cool cover to put on, but I've never done that. Okay, then you got a couple of pieces of paper. The original material, Slastic, used to mount the landing gear covers, is no longer available. The equivalent piece of glass tape. Okay, this glass tape is to put your landing gear covers onto the metal of your landing gear. That's all that's for. And they give you this nice little AMA identification piece of paper. You fill it out, glue it inside your airplane, and that is just about it, fellas and ladies, whoever might be watching. These are trailing edge, leading edge, trailing edge. But that is it. There's nothing else left in here but this piece of paper. So, next video I'm going to get into probably throwing this thing together real quick. Kind of skipping through it. I'm not going to show you a lot of the boring parts. Then I'm going to do a fiberglassing segment. I had a fiberglassing class a few days ago. Went pretty well. We didn't have a lot of people, but there's some people I know that wanted to come and couldn't show up, so I'm going to do a video on how to fiberglass, and I'll use this plane as the mule basically for the class. What I used in my class, let me show you this, is this is my fiberglassing mule. This is a Patriot 40 that was built off of the plans. This is not the original cut parts. These are actually parts that I cut out and made from the plans. And I've been glassing it little by little every time I have a fiberglass class. This is I use this for showing how to do the contour shapes and putting on the first layer of glass, and then your final coat of resin. And then this is the wing that I use for it. I've had this plane laying around since 2000. Good grief, 2008, 2007, somewhere in there. But this wing is from actually two different Patriots. One I strained through a barbed wire fence, and the other one just kind of hit the ground really hard and exploded. So I built this out of the parts of those two wrecks. And you can see I have retracts for it. Interesting thing about the retract holes, they're actually paint cap off of spray cans, the caps. I stuck them in there, glued them, trimmed them. They make really nice wheel wells. Okay, well that's it for this tape. Hopefully you get something from it, and I'm hoping you get interested in actually building. It's going to be a lost art, but if you want a plane that doesn't look like anybody else's, you have to build it. Pretty simple. Yeah, you can buy an RF strip all the covering off and then recover it, but if you do that, you just threw money out and it's not worth it. Best thing to do is, in my opinion, and it's opinion of other builders, is to actually either build yourself a plane off a set of plans, or scratch built it, draw your own plans, your own design, and go fly. So next time we'll probably be gluing and cutting and sanding, and I'll see you then.